So right now, just investigating the sort of idea by the British Royals, right, which was put about in the press and media and all that. And it was an idea, like over the last 20 years type of thing. They put out a lot of ideas, right, which was things like the British Royals are bankrupt. The British Royals are thinking of abdicating and moving and like back to Germany, and the like millions of trillions of pounds and stuff like this, like a lot of these different ideas. Yeah, you see what I mean? Which are basically a mask for the tea program, right? Because in the reality, obviously, the British Royals is doing very well and better now than it's ever been. You know what I mean? Need financial problems whatsoever, like, you know what I mean? And so this was used as a mask to cover up for what we now know as to be the tea program. See, this Royal Masonic tea program, and they were putting about these memes. Right, and there was even one about like how the Rothschilds, 6 billion or whatever, stuff like this. And of course, your six is your hex and all that, and sort of the Rothschilds idea, right? The Rothschilds family and that is just relatives of the main British royal family, but they are not sort of like superior to the main royal family. That's why the main royal family have wear the crowns and that. See what I mean? It's very simple. Like they wear the crowns and all that, and the other ones don't. End of. So you know who's in charge in that. In terms of like level and that, you know what I mean? And this brings us back to the idea of David Icke, where like David Icke was putting about a lot of this type of stuff, and he was obviously used to mention the Rothschilds a lot and all that. A big part of his sort of bullshit, you know what I mean? And if you look at David Icke, right, you can see that his whole sort of stuff is based on the science fiction films of the last 20 years or 30 years, you know what I mean? That's all it is. Bit of bit of Star Wars, bit of whatever else, he threw it chucked in, a bit of Dracula as well, you know what I mean? And that's what it is. That's David Icke's sort of technique of his pure BS, and that's it. And so you've got them ideas and about this Rothschilds, right? And a bit of this ad versus Judaeus, right? This ad versus Judaeus, which if you look at it, it's a write-up and that, and it's an official sort of conspiracy, right, of blaming the Jews and blaming the sort of Jewish people for everything that's sort of wrong and all that. See, so and this is dating back to like 1700 and whatever, right? Which guess what coincides with the sort of founding of the Masons idea and all that. You see what I mean? So this ad versus Judaeus thing, see. And interestingly, right, you've got Alex Jones, who's another sort of main sort of proponent of this sort of mass cover-up, like official sort of conspiracy man and all that, on behalf of the sort of Queen and that, see. And you've got him with the AJ idea, right, as he's known as AJ, see, which is the ad versus Judaeus idea, right. And if you've ever sort of followed Alex Jones, or sort of took a slight interest in him over the years, you see that he comes up with a lot of different conflicting stuff with contrivances, which is all part of it. So he's got like some of the things he's blaming the Catholic Church, other times he's blaming the sort of the Jews, like the ad versus Judaeus, other times he's blaming different groups and Russian KGB and every type of BS going. You see what I mean? It's all part of the sort of the mask idea. See, so these are the official conspiracy people saying, the official write-up with this sort of Judeo-Masonic conspiracy and all that. See what I'm saying? So they've got all base covered for when people start, obviously bringing certain things to light and all that, and they just, brush it aside with this sort of because they've got it written up in an official sort of conspiracy. See what I'm saying? Wikipedia write-ups and everything like that. See what I mean? All official, so to cover the all bases. See what I'm saying? The bases idea, and that would tie in that Miles Johnston sort of character, and his bases 25 or whatever. You know what I mean? Sort of all bases covered. See, to cover the Masonic tea program with a lot of basically crap about every type of conspiracy apart from the actual one. You see what I'm saying? Aliens, Nazis, whatever, you know what I mean? all just to cover up and mask the official sort of program, see, as we now see is totally in action, and that, see what I mean?